performing a general pest treatment internally. Now this part of it, we're actually going to apply a light residual surface spray to the internal edges, the skirting boards. Now the reason why we do this is because most ground crawling insects, when they enter a house, one of the first things they tend to do is head towards the wall, track along the edge of the wall, and that's where they're most likely to come in contact with the other product. The other reason why we do that is because this is where it's going to last the longest. So picture over behind me there, behind that couch, the product's going to last a lot longer there than what it is anywhere else in the house. So if we were to apply residual spray at the entrance to the doorway, they're just going to scuff it off with their feet, and they're also going to mop it up a lot more often as well. Now just for this demonstration purposes, we've actually put water in this can, so I'm not actually going to put my respirator on, otherwise you're not going to be able to hear me. And when we're actually applying the actual treatment, the actual residual insecticide, we're trying to just apply a very light surface spray, and basically we want just above the skirting board and perhaps out to this edge of the tile, and that's it. We don't want a big thick layer there, we just want a very fine layer there. And then also, before we get started, one of the first things we want to do too is make sure we bleed the actual sprayer, so we get all the air out of this line. Otherwise, if you've got air in the line, you're going to end up with drips. So every time you release the trigger, it's going to drip, and drips are bad. Me personally, I like to work my way anti-clockwise around the house. So once again, I start there, and then I'll basically work my way around and end up back at the start again. And you want to pay particular attention to underneath furniture, behind furniture, those areas where it's going to last the longest. So I'll go ahead and give you a bit of an idea of what I'm talking about. Also, base of the steps, once again that's a sort of a physical barrier that insects will be crawling along and head towards that. So just lightly along there. We won't go in the garage just yet because we can't see in the garage because it's dark, but make sure you get behind the doorways. In the base of the covers, and this one here is a linen press. What I might do is just move a little bit of stuff there and just around the entrance of the linen press there. You certainly wouldn't spray up inside the actual linen press. Once again, making sure you get behind these doors. Don't be afraid to move things away from the wall. So you get a bit of an idea of what I'm doing here. When it comes to the bed, I'd actually try and get behind that bed here. I'd actually lay down and stick my wand underneath it, behind the bedside dresser there. But also making sure I'm keeping an eye out for any electricals. Last thing you want to do is actually spray a power point or a power board. So make sure you don't spray those.